How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and over the last week, I've been using this Samsung Galaxy S10. Now, this may be a little weird, because most of the time this channel's had a buzz, I've been using iPhones. But there's a good reason why I wanted to switch back to Android. So, first of all, let's talk why, then let's see how my week went. So, as some of you may be aware, I've been an iPhone user for the better part of 2 years now. And to be totally honest, I was very content with this, especially after the last experience I had with my previous Android phone. That said, I've always maintained the position that I am a really big fan of how the Android system works. So, while I knew it wouldn't necessarily be comfortable, especially after establishing my digital minimalism system, switching back to Android, even if it's just temporary, has been on my to-do list for a pretty long time now. So I figured, seeing as I do plan to review the Samsung Galaxy S10 fairly soon, a fun way to get used to this phone would be to use it as my daily phone for a week and see how I did. Alright, so day one using the Samsung Galaxy S10 as my main phone. So I've already actually got a few of the apps already set up. As I said, I have had this phone for a little while now. I've been testing it for review, but I still haven't properly taken the plunge to use this as my main phone. So, day one, let's get started. First thing I need to do is I need to change this wallpaper. I do want to make good use of the hole punch design. So, first things first, let's change that. I also do have to install a few more apps that I use on a daily basis, but the nice thing about Android is that a lot of them actually come pre-installed. Don't have to install Gmail, don't have to install YouTube. It's nice that those are already installed, or maybe it's not. I don't know. Let's just set this phone up for daily use. Gotta say, so far, I'm a big fan of the underscreen lock button. Hopefully Apple will catch on and do something like that soon. Honestly, I think this time of wearing masks has really exposed the need for a second biometrics method. So yeah, I'm glad to have that. Anyway, let's get on and do some more phone stuff. I'm not gonna lie, the first day was very exciting for me. I'd already set it up previously. I actually bought this phone a while ago for review. But I think the Samsung Galaxy S10 is the best looking phone in the world. And that's not a compliment I toss around lightly. I don't think I've ever said that about another phone on this channel. Just the design combined with the color makes this a really nice looking phone. I started this challenge on a Wednesday, so I knew I certainly had my ways to go. But still, this was by far one of the most comfortable challenges I've ever started on this channel. Usually when I do this with older iPhones, there is a big adjustment period in those first few days. And despite the fact that this is an operating system I haven't touched for the better part of 2 years, the nice big screen, modern design, great specs, and rock solid performance meant that I didn't really have much initial trouble. I finished the day really excited about the next, and overall looking forward to this challenge. The second day, I woke up wanting to make a couple of changes. I mean, this is Android after all, and something that I have missed is the immense customization. I'd already changed my wallpaper. I mean, I did that on day one. The first thing I did today, though, was to change the navigation bar. Now, I'm not personally a big fan of the navigation bar design. Last time when I was on Android, I didn't particularly like it then either, so luckily, Samsung also offer a swipe bar navigation system, which I much prefer. I noticed that pretty much as soon as I did this, I was misclicking a lot less, which greatly improved on my user experience. But I wasn't quite done there. See, Samsung offer a digital assistant known as Bixby, which I have never liked, to be totally honest, and it's lacking a feature that I really liked on the iPhone side of things, more specifically, the mute switch. But because we're now dealing in Android, I was able to reconfigure that so it required 2 presses to bring up Bixby, and if I just pressed it once, it acted as a mute switch. To replace Bixby as my digital assistant, I then went and enabled Google Assistant, which I much prefer. It works on a wider range of things, it brings up more relevant results, and it even works with Apple Music, which is kind of awesome. I went through my second day much more comfortable with my new phone setup, because don't get me wrong, while I was comfortable yesterday, being able to make my phone setup mine was a really nice experience. And doing this got me even more jazzed about trying out Android again. Gotta say, so far I am having a really nice time. On day 3, I decided to do my usual day 3 task, which if you're not new around around here, you will know is usually a camera test. Now, again, as some of you may know, one of the main reasons why I actually switched from my Samsung in the first place is because I wasn't very impressed with the photos from it. But 2 generations separated, a plethora of new features, and of course 3 cameras now. I'm interested to see how my experience differs, and hopefully it'll be really good. Alright, so as is traditional, I am currently walking my dog, so I decided to take the Samsung Galaxy S10 out and see if I can get some nice photos with it. Now, so far I have taken a few photos, and I gotta say, so far it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, but right now I want to really put this phone through its paces and see what it's capable of. Couldn't really see the screen so well because it is so bright today, making filming kind of difficult, but still, let's go take some more. Alright, so next we're going to get an ultra-wide shot looking up at the trees, which is a pretty common shot for me to get. This is for 2 reasons. See, with shots like this, it's very easy to see any distortion around the lens. It's also a good way of testing the sharpness. So, let's take a photo. Alright, that photo was a success. Let's see what else we can get. Alright, so now I'm back, and to be totally honest, the camera was a bit of a mixed bag in my opinion. On one hand, there was virtually no distortion on the ultra-wide lens, and the edge detection on the portrait mode was some of the best I think I've ever seen. But in some things, like leaves, there was a lack of detail that I noticed. I am gonna have to do more tests in the future, but gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. By the end of day 3, while it was clear there was still going to be some adjusting to do, I found myself more comfortable still using this phone as my daily driver and finding out what works, what doesn't work so well, and finding fun ways to overcome this. However, on day 4, I would run into a couple of unseen issues. Alright, so day 4, today has been a pretty intensive working day. If you can see some of my makeshift acoustic treatment, I apologize for that. Today I came across a couple of challenges while I was trying to get my work done. Up until this point, I've pretty much exclusively taken notes on my phone. I find it much easier to walk around my house and dictate to my phone rather than typing things up. I find thoughts come to me easier, and it's just much faster in general. But I totally didn't account for the fact that I wasn't gonna have Apple Notes on my Samsung phone. So today I sat down at my desk and wrote. Gotta say, it was kind of refreshing, and I certainly will be able to find a solution, but for today I just sucked it up and typed my first script in about a month. Another problem I found today is the Samsung keyboard. I just can't seem to get used to it. So what did I do? I swapped it for the Gboard keyboard. Gboard keyboard, that's got a nice ring to it. So yeah, swapped it for the Gboard keyboard. That immediately solved all the problems I had with the Samsung keyboard. And I've gotta say, it's nice to be able to customize your keyboard to whatever you want it to be. I mean, that's a freedom I'm not used to on iPhones. And while I personally don't have an issue with the iPhone keyboard at all, it's still is nice to be able to customize your keyboard. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. As the challenge came to a close, I took some time to reflect on my experience with the S10 over the previous week. Alright, so it's the final day now, and I've gotta say, this has probably been my favorite challenge I've ever done. It's honestly been so refreshing to be able to come back to an operating system that I used for many years and thoroughly enjoyed. Honestly, I just kinda wish I'd done it sooner. Realistically, I held my grudge against the Samsung S8 for way too long, and I honestly think doing this challenge has restored my faith in Android a bit. Don't get me wrong, while there were a few obstacles to overcome, for the most part, this challenge has been fairly seamless. And yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing this. Alright, so that was my first week back on Android. Keyword first week. Usually when people do these challenges, they switch back almost immediately, and I'm guilty of this too. Whenever I do like an old iPhone challenge, I almost immediately switch back. But with this, I'm going to keep using it for a little bit longer. So I gotta say, this was a pretty eye-opening experience for me. As I said before, I have a personal vendetta against the Samsung S8. That thing gave me so many problems. But gotta say, I really enjoyed the Samsung S10. As I said, I think it's gorgeous. I think the performance is solid. As I said before, there were a couple of issues, but I mean, honestly, I think that's the case with any phone. No one phone is going to be perfect. Then, after a while, I plan to do a full review of this phone. Let me know, by the way, after the Samsung Galaxy S8, what Android phone do you think I should check out next? Feel free to leave me a comment. I always enjoy reading those. As for now, though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video. If you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.